Hello, fabulous friends and fans. Welcome to this special series of videos on natal planets conjunct the nodes and transiting planets conjunct the nodes. Originally, when I created these videos, they ended up being over an hour long, where I went through the sky and talked about each of the planets. Now, what I've done is I've edited these videos down so that you can get right to the information that you want. Look at the exact planet that you want. I want to thank you so much for watching, and thank you especially for the suggestions that you guys give me on the videos that you want to see in the YouTube comments, on Facebook, Twitter, Google+, and of course my website, nadiyashah.com. Please do keep those questions, suggestions, interactions, and positive energy coming. It really does mean so much to me. And if you like these videos, please share them. And of course, let me know online. Enjoy. Mercury conjunct the South Node. Now, Mercury does represent messages on the one hand, communications as well, but it also represents types of people. I find the planets conjunct the North Node tend to indicate situations, yes, but also types of people that might come and go from our lives. And so Mercury is, to me, Mercury is a very interesting energy because it's very androgynous on the one hand. It's about messages. It's very quick as well. And it has to do with sort of the communication of information. It also has to do with siblings and cousins and neighbors as well. So when Mercury conjuncts the South Node, sometimes it's a neighbor that leaves. Sometimes it suggests an important change in the relationship between a sibling or a cousin. If Mercury as Mercury is often retrograde, sometimes Mercury will swim over, make 3 aspects to the South Node. And this will represent sort of an ongoing conversation. It doesn't always mean that the person actually leaves, but it can mean that a pattern or a way of being within a certain relationship, again, with a sibling or a cousin or even a neighbor, is transforming, and how it's going to transform and what needs to end in order to strengthen yourself and your path and understand where they fit in and where they don't anymore is all part of the learning that is taking place. And as I said, sometimes this can be lessons as well or messages as well. And so sometimes we'll literally receive a message that allows us to see things differently. This is about an understanding happening. Now, this isn't just understanding in terms of there's an understanding that's Jupiterian, that's very philosophical. With Mercury, it's not about the philosophy, it's about the transmission of information. And so when Mercury crosses the South Node, it really can be you get a message that helps you understand what has served its purpose. This can be getting a message that says, okay, wow, I get it. You're really not into me. And that's really okay. I get it. You're not part of my karmic future. And sometimes it is actually people who in some way embody this, as I said, embody this energy. And I like to think of Mercury as kind of an androgynous energy. And so what that could mean is this is not necessarily romantic, is what it comes down to. Sometimes it is a person whose qualities are androgynistic, but sometimes it's not that. It's more platonic. It's a platonic kind of energy. So it's somebody with whom you have a platonic kind of friendly relation that ends up sort of you understand that this person has served their purpose in your life, and you can say, thank you so much for being a part of my life. Now you can go. Sometimes because Mercury also has to do with commerce as well, and as I said, it has to do with messages. I mean, this could literally be, sometimes it has to do with like a post office that you went to a lot closes. Sometimes this has to do with understanding just the value of shopping and that experience and what it does for you, the places that you frequent when you go shopping. Understanding that, wow, I used to really like that store a lot. I used to go there all the time. Now I don't think I'm into it that anymore. I don't think I really want to shop there anymore. Those are the types of experience we can also attract when Mercury conjuncts the South Node. When Mercury conjuncts the North Node, this is really a time to be paying to messages. I really advise this. When I see Mercury coming up, I say, you are going to get an understanding. Some message is going to come through that's going to help you understand where it is that you're going. But with Mercury, See, you have to remember that the faster a planet moves, the more often it's going to visit certain points in your chart. And when Mercury visits the North Node, it does this about once every year or so, actually more than once a year, and especially if it's going retrograde, then it will sort of go over this point 3 times, okay? So Mercury moves around the zodiac pretty fast, takes less than a year to go all the way around the zodiac. That means at least once a year, you're going to get a visit. You might get a visit twice. And in case of Mercury retrograde, you'll get 3 visits in a short span of time. Mercury conjunct the North Node is a message coming through that in some way helps you understand the direction in which you're meant to go. It symbolizes a message or getting an insight or seeing a Facebook post, seeing something online, getting a text, even getting a phone call as well, that in some way shows you where it is that change is going to happen for you, where it is that you need to go, whether it's on a soul level or whether it's just obvious. Like you get a message that says, hey, there's a big job fair happening over there. And you resonate with it. And you go, oh, my God, yeah, why don't I go to that? Let's just see what could happen. Yeah, I have a job and I like it, but why not go? It's those types of informations that can come in. This can also be a time when we meet somebody who is, you know, as I described, it could be a sibling, it could be a cousin, it could be a neighbor, or it could be somebody, just their qualities. It's like we look at them very platonically. We're looking at their qualities very platonically, or their features might be very androgynous in some way or remind us of that. These types of people that might come in at this time would carry karmic blessings, or at the very least would carry some sort of message, interaction, understanding that we need to understand our direction, where it is that the universe is prompting us to go. Now, the slower a planet moves, the more that adjustment will be felt. And as I said, Mercury moves pretty fast. So trust that move, trust that process, because it is going to lead you somewhere very good. And ultimately, as I always say, if you honor that North Node, you really honor the purpose of the incarnation. And if you do that, then all the things you need on a material level have a way of falling perfectly into place.